Hey, everybody. We're back at it again. I want to say before we get started that many of you have been asking for this episode. I'm finally getting around to doing it, and I want to thank you in making this episode. I want to thank you because I realize just how important this episode is, exposing my method for selecting products to sell in my dropshipping business. A lot of people are having problems and they have absolutely no idea how to go about doing that. We're covering that today. Today is going to be a masterclass in how to select winning products from losers, how to limit your exposure, how to limit the downside for you in your business. We're diving deep into what separates those winning dropshippers from the ones who just wish they were winning. And I'm giving you my 10-step plan for picking products that will actually sell over and over and over again. No fluff. It's all action with Straight Talk Commerce podcast beginning in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
No fluff, no hype, just the real deal. Wayne Altman's here, yeah, you know the drill. Talking business, talking shop, making moves non-stop. From e-com to hustle, straight talk, no props. Straight talk, no gimmicks, no lies. Hey, I'll break it down with the sharpest minds. Money moves, mindset, grind. If you're ready to win, then tune in live. Big names, big games, all the lessons they bring. From Jelly Belly to AA Kings. From the startup grind to the top tier pros. We crack the code, now here we go. Straight talk, commerce, getting to know with Wayne Altman. Let's start the show.
All right, everybody. Welcome back. Just like I said, today we're going to go over the top 10 steps for discovering an ideal dropshipping product. How do you go about picking the products that you're going to sell on your store? And number one, right out of the gate, you're going to want to start with trends and ignore your personal passion. Why? Why am I saying that? Selling what's trending, not necessarily what you love, puts you in the path of existing demand. That's where you want to be. You want to be right in the middle of what the existing demand is. Passion is great for branding. That comes later. But what we're talking about right now is starting up or scaling. Trends are really what pays your bills. You're going to want to find products that people want to buy right away. You can introduce products later on. That's great. But you definitely want to find out what's trending, and you want to go with the flow of the river. You definitely don't want to try and start a business by swimming upstream. Don't do that. Now, how do you go about doing that? Well, one of the first things that I like to do is take a look at Google Trends. It's a free service. You just Google Trends, and it will tell you where the keywords are. Search keywords like if you know pet toys or kitchen gadgets. You already have a good idea of what kind of business you want to run. Use Google Trends to find out what products are selling in those niches, okay? Figure that out, and be careful of seasonal spikes. So we're going to come up with a list of products, right? And we're going to rank these products and how well people are, what people are searching for, what people are looking for. But you're also going to want to pay very close attention to, is this seasonal? Are we seeing an uptick in this? Is it something that's going to, anything pumpkin spice latte is seasonal, that for an example, okay? Or summertime, if you're talking about some suntan oil or something like that, those are definitely seasonal things. I'm talking about your bread and butter, the things that are going to last all year round. Those are the products that are the toughest ones to find. You'll also want to browse TikTok's For You page and any Instagram reels of people that you follow, because viral videos will often feature products that are gaining some traction. So that gives you very good clues of what is actually out there selling right now. If you're scrolling through TikTok and you see products that people over and over and over and over again, that they are advertising, that means something to you. That absolutely means something to you. You can either sell that product itself or adjacent products to that. Sometimes will be a very good plan for you. You can also check Pinterest trends, the whole section on Pinterest. And I'm going to be, while I'm talking about these things, I'm going to be showing you what it looks like when you're actually looking for these products, because it's important that you follow trends when you're deciding on whether or not to sell a certain product. Pinterest is especially strong for any home, fashion, or wellness niche. So definitely, if that's the niche you're going for, I would direct you over to Pinterest, Google Trends, or TikTok. Facebook as well is another good place to do that. All right. Now, the second thing you're going to do is you're going to validate the information that you found. And you're going to do that with real data. You're going to validate your demand with real data. Why would you do that? Because assumptions will kill your e-commerce business. Assuming that this product is selling a lot of products, just because you see a lot of advertising for it, it doesn't mean that it's selling well. There are ways of finding out what is actually selling. That's what we're covering right now. So you are going to not assume because that will kill you, but you are going to want to validate the demand for that product, and we're going to get some real data on that. Now, how will you do that? Well, go to the Amazon bestseller page, and you can filter by category. It's over on the left-hand side. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. You should be looking at that right now. You're going to filter by category, and you want to check the top 50. Checking the top 50. That is going to give you a very good idea of what's selling and how much is it selling. Etsy, the trending now page. It's fantastic for gifts and for craft niches. Or AliExpress, still, even with all the tariff business that's going on. AliExpress has top rankings. Those are early signals, and that's global for you. So if you are selling to a global market, you are going to want to look in global places to find out what's trending globally, okay? Look for products with consistent sales, not spikes. You want to make sure that these are products with sustained sales, not one-off or a couple months spike, and that's the end of it. So that's what I'm talking about when I say validate your demand and use real data to do that. Number 3, spy on your competitors. Here's where business gets fun for me. I always like doing the validating of the product, and I like to find out what my competitors are doing, knowing what they're doing when they don't even. Most of the time, they don't even know what they're doing or why. Why would you do that? If someone else is running ads consistently or scaling a product, it's already partially validated. It reminds me of Home Depot and Lowe's, that whole story about Home Depot and Lowe's, and one of them figuring out that we're going to put a store directly across the street from Home Depot or Lowe's, because they've already scouted, they already know the market, they've already spent the money, they know what they're doing, we trust them to know what they're doing, we're just going to compete with them on the next corner across the street. It's something to pay attention to. How are you going to do that? Well, install the Koala Inspector. SpyFu is also a good extension, but there are extensions that are available to you to find out what best sellers are on a Shopify store or that are selling a specific product. You also want to search Facebook ad library. Type keywords like pet leash or portable blender or outdoor lighting. And you'll be able to see live ads, what people are doing, who's doing it, and what their sales are like. This is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about validating your product. Listen, if a hamburger was not a good product to sell, it wouldn't be on every menu in every restaurant in the United States. Hamburgers are great, and everybody sells hamburgers. That doesn't mean you should not sell hamburgers. It means you should sell hamburgers. The demand for hamburgers is a lot. So don't let it scare you that other people are selling this. It's actually a reassurance to you. Please understand that. You have no idea how many people I'll sit right next to them and they'll get disappointed. I'm getting excited and they're getting disappointed because they see so many people out there selling a flashlight with multicolors or whatever. And I'm confused. I'm like, why is this? Why are you so upset? And they're like, well, Wayne, I'm disappointed. I wanted to sell this product. I think it's a cool product. And I said, yeah, me too. But the reason everyone is selling it is because people are buying it. So don't let that throw you. Use AliShark, the paid version of AliShark. Stay away from the free version. Or simply watch TikTok hashtag trends. You can hashtag TikTok made me buy it. That is going to tell you a lot who's selling what and when and how much. And here's a pro tip for you. If you see multiple stores selling a product with slightly different angles, that means it's a good opportunity. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. If you see plenty of stores that are selling a specific product and each of them coming from a different angle, find your angle and sell that product too. You can be just as good at it as them, probably better as them in selling it. It means that people really want this product. Everywhere I turn around, those Stanley cups. You would think that I've got a dozen of those in my house. I have 4 girls that live in this house with me. And I'm telling you, I have a Stanley for everyone in Idaho. So people of Idaho, you want a Stanley? Come see me. I'm happy to give them to you. Number 4. People of Idaho, do not contact me about a Stanley. I am being facetious. We have a lot of them in my home. I just was trying to make a point. All right, back at it. Focus on products that will actually solve a problem. Let me say that again. Focus on products that will solve your customer's problem. Find a problem, find a pain, have a solution. Why? Why would you do that? Well, problem-solving products are far easier to market. The customer needs that product. They don't just want it. It's not just cool. It actually serves a purpose. And people want that product. They need that product. And they'll be willing to pay a price for that product. And so it's very important. Now, how? You ask yourself, does this product make someone's life easier, safer, faster, healthier, or more enjoyable? If the answer to those questions are yes, you have both your angle and the validation that this product is going to be a pretty good product for you to take a look at to sell. And can the benefit to them be explained in one sentence? You want to be able to tell, not the features of the product. We've covered this before. Who gives a rip about the features of a product if it doesn't benefit them? You want to stay away from talking about the features of any product anyway. You know that. You've been here for a while. We're going to talk about benefits only. Benefits. And the reason that we do that is because benefits are personal, right? Can it be explained in one sentence? Think of an elevator pitch. They always tell you have an elevator pitch. You want one sentence that tells people how this benefits you from buying this from me. And let me give you an example of what I'm talking about here. Posture corrector. Okay, you've seen these. They sit in a chair and they help you with your posture. Well, posture corrector solves back pain. Boom, sentence. There you go. This is how it benefits you. It solves your back pain. Anybody with back pain? Okay, I got a posture corrector for you. That's what I'm talking about. Or a portable dog water bottle, right? You've seen these Camelbacks for dogs. It solves pet hydration problems while on the go. Look, that solves a massive problem for people that like taking their dogs to dog parks or the beach or whatever. You're always looking for something for your dog to drink out of. And so you want to focus on those benefits. Now, number 5, check the product pricing strategy. Okay? Why? Why would you do this? Well, your price point affects your margin, your ad costs, and your customers' expectations. That's why you want to find out, can you get this product for cheap enough to sell to somebody and make a profit? Because that's what we're here for, okay? If you can't get a product, number one, if you can't get a product cheap enough to sell at a margin and make a profit on, then you're going to want to stay away from that product. You just can't, that's just not the product for you. But if you can do that, buy a product that's inexpensive enough to you that you can actually turn it over and make a profit on it, then this is what we're looking for, right? How? The ideal range is $25 to $75 for most businesses, unless you go high-end luxury, but that's for brands. We're going to talk about brands later. We're talking about those hero products that are going to create your brand. You're starting out, remember? If you have a brand, we're going to talk about that at another time. But I'm talking to people who are just starting out. Your ideal range are going to be between $25 and $75. It's going to be high enough to afford to run paid advertising. It's going to be low enough to trigger an impulse buy. It's far easier to get someone that needs a product at a specific time to pull the trigger and buy that product than it is to constantly drip, 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 drip ads in front of them until they finally see it and you break them down. And you want to shoot for a 3 times markup. For example, if you can get that product at $10, you're going to want to look to sell it in the $30, $35 range. And here's a pro tip for you. Products over $100 usually require more trust building. If you're going to ask someone for $100, they're going to require to trust you a little bit more. So you only want to do this if you already have strong branding. There you go. We just talked about that. Anything over $75, as a rule of thumb, anything over $75 is going to be sold by a brand, a trusted, well-known, elucidated brand. That's it. And you're going to get there. You just need to wait a little bit before you go trying to sell a $500 GPS watch or whatever. Number 6, evaluate shipping and supplier reliability. Why? Because look, we are already seeing the crunch in logistics from many of our overseas suppliers. It's going to calm down very shortly, but look, we can't wait. We don't have the money to wait. We need to find these products and find them now. Here's really where the rubber meets the road for a lot of you, because you're going to be able to locally find products, and you're going to start off in a very good position, as opposed to all of those people that have built brands in the dropshipping from China business who now are scrambling, trying to find ways of onshoring all the products that they can't get anymore from some other country. Okay? And why? Bad shipping equals refunds, chargebacks, and a very bad reputation that's difficult to overcome. So bad shipping, if you can't get a product here within 2 or 3 weeks, that's very bad. And if the product already is a little bit on the iffy side when it comes to its manufacturing, you've just created a soup of despair, an absolute mess for yourself. If you have a great product and takes a little bit longer to get to people, that can be overcome. If you have a really kind of crappy product, but it gets there super quick, the crappy product part of it can be overcome. But when you pair those two things together, that's very, very bad. Now, how do you evaluate your shipping and supplier reliability? Well, you want to have a very tight relationship with your suppliers directly before you ever even order. You want to ask for videos and their real shipping times. You want to test this part. And you want to test it and monitor it, by the way. You can't just test it once and say, 6 months ago we had one of these shipped to us and it was fine. You got to constantly monitor that. And the way that you do that is by following up with your customers that have purchased it and asking them what their experience was. And by the way, you need to listen to them, what they tell you. If you are not listening to your customers and what they're telling you, you may as well close up, because pretty soon they're going to slap you across the face. And you're going to be the one to blame for that. Order samples for yourself, and you want to test delivery speed, and you want to test packaging. If you start receiving product to you, drop ship from a manufacturer, and the packaging is tore up from the floor up, guess what? You need to have a conversation with that supplier, because the last thing you need is for your customer, your final destination, to get a product that looks like it was chewed by puppies before it ever landed to them. That is absolutely beyond the pale to me. You want to make sure that it gets to your customer in as pristine a manner as possible. And by the way, the cheaper the product, the more important that it arrives perfectly to the customer than the expensive products. More expensive products, you have a little bit more wiggle room, and people are going to be willing to kind of forgive more of it, and it's going to be more cost effective for you to, do some exchanges and some chargebacks for that kind of stuff. So whatever you do, do not ignore this aspect of number 6. Do not ignore your evaluation of shipping and supplier and their reliability to you. Prefer U.S. warehouses whenever possible. Matter of fact, let's alter that a little bit. You want to prefer as close to you as humanly possible. If you were giving me a choice of having somebody drop shipping from next door to me, or halfway across the country for cheaper, I would say bring him to me. I want to be able to monitor that as closely as I possibly can. I want to be able to take them to dinner. I want to be able to schmooze them. I want to make sure that we have a very tight relationship, me and my drop shipper. Especially anything that's via AliExpress, anything that says ship from USA. And you can use filters or apps like Spocket to help with this. And I'll have some links in the description of this video for some tools that you can use to evaluate your shipping. Number 7, analyze your product viability for video ads. Analyze your product for viability for video ads. Now, why? Why would you do this? In today's world, if you cannot create a catchy 15 to 30 second video around a product, it is very, very hard to sell that product. Everyone now is used to seeing TikTok ads, seeing the fidget spinner, watching people use the Ginsu knives, the automatic fishing caster, whatever, the lures, all that. They want to see it working. And if you can't create a 15 or 30 second video around that product, have a tendency to stay away from it. I hesitate to say stay completely away from them, but I almost want to do that. You rarely are going to run into a product that you cannot create a video around. Now, how? Can you show the product in action easily? Is there a visible transformation or a before and after moment? That's what you're trying to film, okay? You're trying to film people having fun with the product, or the product solving problems for somebody, right? Does it trigger curiosity, surprise reaction, or immediate gratification and satisfaction visually? Is it something visually appealing to people? Those are the products you want to center in on, buddy. Believe you me, when you can show a product in action and show people enjoying themselves and having fun using your product, those products are going to sell very, very quickly. Let me give you an example of this. Those magnetic eyelashes. Show them snapping on in 2 seconds and somebody walking out the door with them. Or those folding travel bags. I saw one of those the other day, and I'm dying to get one. I got to remind my wife that I want to get, we go on trips a lot, and I wanted to show her this bag that was absolutely crazy. Everything about this bag helped you store clothing and shoes and toiletries and all of that, and the bag folded in on itself. I think you probably know what I'm talking about. You want to go from a compact to a large reveal shot. You want to film that with you loading that bag up and taking off with it. And you want to film that bag opening up in the middle of a hotel bed and all of the things that you can pull out of that bag. Those are the shots that I'd go for. It gets me excited just thinking about that. Number 8. Number 8 is gauging the emotional impact. You saw how excited I got talking about this bag. Why? Because emotion drives people's buying decisions. Believe me. People justify their purchases with logic, but they buy because they feel something. They want this thing. It is so cool. Wayne, I have people all the time describing products to me, telling me how cool the product is. And you want that for the products that you sell, because that will entice people. That will make people talk about your product to other people, and that's going to create more sales for you. How? Does the product create a wow or an, oh man, I need that, or a, oh my God, that's genius moment? One of the things we talked about last week was the BlendTech blender. I have wanted one of those blenders, man, ever since I saw the first iPad and iPhone going into it and getting smashed to pieces. And it's weird because it never occurs to me to throw ice and drinks and everything into this blender. No. I just want it to destroy things. I just love products that are very well built and have that kind of wow factor to me. Emotional hooks like love, pride, envy, relief, excitement, or the dreaded FOMO, fear of missing out. You want products that will pull those emotions out of people. And here's a pro tip. Products that are tied to personal identity, your pets, parenting, your beauty, your fitness, those are products that trigger even stronger emotions. So those products are really good places to look for those emotional triggers. Number 9. Number 9 is run small tests. Why? Well, you don't know anything until you test it. People can tell you all day long, this product is good or that product is good. You can look at it on Amazon and you can say, oh, wow, other people have been able to make a killing. They've sold 100,000 of these products, $59,000 products in a week. But you will not know until you test it. And the way you test it is, by actually getting the product and actually advertising the product yourself. Because gut feelings and trends will only tell you so much. They do not tell you the entire story. I know people that have been in this business for 20, 30, even 40 years. And when I talked to them about this episode, they promised me that they were going to watch it because they're like, Wayne, even to this day, I still can't pick winners from losers. I have to go with my gut and test it. And then that will tell me. He goes, I've been surprised so many times by products that I have really basically given up. I go with what I think, but those gut feelings fail me from time to time. Launch a micro Facebook ad campaign, doing $5 to $15, $20 a day on the product, and even less in some cases. And test 2 to 3 creatives per product. You always want to A/B test these products, by the way. You test the ads, A/B test everything. Test. Find out what your customer is going to tell you the winner from the loser. There's no way for you to force this on the market. I know people like to think they can. They cannot. You can spend hundreds of millions of dollars on a Snow White movie and no one will go and see it. And that's the truth. Look at your click-through rates, your CPMs, your cost per 1,000 impressions, and your return on your ad spend. That's going to tell the tale. There is no lying at that point. There is no obfuscation. There is no hiding the fact you've either had a winner or a loser. I had a product probably about 10 years ago now that I can't even remember what it was, but I do remember sitting across the table from a whole group of people. I worked for a company at the time, but it wasn't my own. But we were having a massive argument over whether or not to continue to sell this product. And it was a product that eventually was going to make the company broke if we continued to sell it. And it was very difficult for me to explain. It wasn't difficult to explain. It was difficult to get them to understand that they were not making the money they thought they were, and we were burning up a lot of resources to sell the numbers that they were thinking we were selling, or that we were selling, but it just wasn't very profitable. Your goal is to break even or have a small profit. Then scale. Flop hard, move on. That's your goal. You either want to break even or make a profit. Scale. Flop hard, move on. That's what you want to find out, right? You want to find out as quickly as possible through small tests that are not going to break your company, and find out whether or not these products are winners or losers. And sometimes it's very easy to tell the difference. Other times you'll have to do a little bit of analyzing your results. How's that? Number 10, scale ruthlessly or kill it quickly. Do not get emotional involved. Do not get emotionally involved, okay? Emotional attachment to a failing product will kill you. It will waste your time. It will waste your money. That dog needs to be taken behind the barn and put to sleep. Do not waste your time, money, effort, or emotion on a loser product. It's time to find out, okay? How? Winners will scale vertically. You give them bigger budgets. You give them better advertising. And they will also scale horizontally. Meaning new audiences will come to your business and from different countries, from different areas of your country. Okay, so those products, the winning products, are going to be the ones that will scale vertically, meaning your sales are going to go through the roof. They're going to go up very dramatically, and you're going to diversify your audience, people from all over the place, and new types of audiences are going to buy from you. And that's how you tell. Losers, on the other hand, you kill that ad set, you kill that product, and you move on to the next. Shoot, move, communicate. That's what they used to tell us in the Army. Well, this is exactly the same thing. You need to take a shot, find out if that worked, move along. Do not dawdle, because hesitation in this, in scaling, is really a recipe for disaster. And here's a pro tip for you. 80% of your success is going to come from a handful of products that actually work, really work. You want to focus your energy right there. You want to find those hero products quickly, and you want to scale them quickly, and you want to nurture them and love them and keep them going as long as you can. And those ones that are losers, find them as quickly too. They're a cancer. Get rid of them, burn them, and move on quickly. All right, we've gone over the 10. Let's do a quick review. Number 1, start with trends, not your personal passion. Use Google Trends, TikTok, Instagram Reels to spot products around you that are rising and find them early. Number 2, validate your demand with real data. Check Amazon bestsellers, AliExpress hot products, and niche-specific marketplaces, and validate the people actually want this product. Number 3, you're going to do some spy work. on your competitors. Use tools like SpyFu, Koala Inspector, Ali Shark, or simply review what's running ads, who's running ads. You should be in this business long enough to know who the usual suspects are. Find out what they're doing. There's nothing wrong with that. It's actually how we do business. Number 4, focus on products that will solve a problem. Painkiller products win more than nice-to-have gadgets. It's important to know. Find the pain, solve the pain. That's the motto. That's what you want to do. Number 5 is check your product pricing strategy. The ideal here is to sell products between $25 and $75. These are products that are big enough to margin and they're low enough for impulse buying. And remember, you want to be able to be 3 times what you can get it for. So if you can get a product for $10, you want to be able to sell it for $30 in order to maintain that margin and be profitable. Number 6, evaluate your shipping and supplier reliability. Fast shipping equals happy customers, and vet your suppliers personally. You need to have a personal relationship. They should recognize your voice when you call. You should recognize their number when they call. These are people that are partnered with you in helping you in your business. You have taken your logistics and handed that over to these people. You need to know them. Number 7, analyze your product viability for video ads. This is one of my most cherished tips for people. If it doesn't look cool in a 15-second video, it is not going to sell online easily. You're going to have to do a lot more work to put lipstick on a pig, in my estimation. So analyze that product, make sure that it looks cool, or you can make it look cool doing what it does for people, or move along and don't sell that product. Number 8 is engage in the emotional impact. Because great products will evoke strong feelings of curiosity, of excitement, of envy, of relief. Those products are the ones that people buy. You're not talking about shopping groceries here. You're talking about shopping for products of clothing and shoes. You want, or a tool that's going to help someone improve their lives. So that's what we're talking about here. Gauge the emotional impact of those products and find those products that will actually create some emotion from your customers, or for your potential customers. Those are going to be winning products for you. Number 9, test. Test. Run small tests. Spend $50 to $100 on micro ad campaigns, because data is much better than opinion. If you've got data to back up your thoughts, that's how you form an opinion to begin with, my friend. Trust me on that. You may have a good hunch, but you need to back it up with raw data before going throwing a big clump of money on something. I've made that mistake a million times, and I'm finally learning my lesson here. And finally, scale ruthlessly or kill it quickly. If the data you get back proves that this is a winner, go all in. Push those chips forward. Katie, bar the door. Let's roll. If not, pivot quickly and without any emotion. If that product can't prove to you that it is a winner, then it's time to move along. There you got it. Your complete 10-step roadmap to picking products that sell, not sit. And if you found even one gem today, hit that like button. Share this with your drop shipping family and friends. And remember, winners act fast. I will see you in the next episode. Thanks, you guys.
No hype, just the real deal. Wayne Altman's here, yeah, you know the drill. Talking business, talking shop, making moves non-stop. From e-com to hustle, straight talk, no props. Straight talk, no gimmicks, no lies. Here to break it down with the sharpest minds. Money moves, mindset, grind. If you're ready to win, then tune in live. Big names, big games, all the the lessons they bring, from Jelly Belly to AA Kings, from the startup grind to the top tier pros. We crack the code. Now here we go. Straight talk,